But moving on to Alien Romulus. This movie was fantastic. It was the return to the true horror of the original that the franchise desperately needed. This franchise, I feel like, was close to just dying, and having Disney not want to do anything with it because Disney owns it now because they own Fox. Um, but Fide Alvarez captured the retro futuristic aesthetic of Alien perfectly with the set and prop design and created an atmosphere very similar to the original. And he even manages to capture some of the essence of the more action oriented Alien films without completely destroying like the scary ambiance. The basic plot of the movie is that a group of young miners forced to work to earn a way off their sunless planet discover a drifting vessel in the atmosphere and decide to steal its cryo chambers so that they can make the 9-year trip to the closest colony. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, what is it? The like organized like the big like mega corporation of the alien world is called Weyland Yutani, and essentially their parents were somehow tricked by the government into having to work on this having to work on this mining planet for a set number of years before they're allowed to leave. They're basically prisoners,
Mm-hmm.
and that has
Yeah.
passed on down to their children, and all of their parents are dead
Mm.
because they died mining. Um,
Yeah.
and now they're stuck there and they're trying to get away. And then they go onto this alien ship. Or not, it's not an alien ship; it's a human ship, but it's infected with aliens, and
Of
they all
course.
and they get murdered. Not all of them, of course, but they all slowly get murdered.
Right.
um, it's a good movie.
As is par for the course.
It's such a good movie. So I realized I just wasn't paying attention to trailers because I rewatched the trailer and it was clearer than I thought it was. But I ignored most of the trailers because they started spoiling stuff, so I started ignoring them. And even if they didn't, I would ignore them anyway just to stay fresh because I was like, I'm watching this.
Right.
After the first trailer, I was like, I'm watching this.
Watch
But I didn't expect the main character to be who they were. It's this girl named Rain,
Mhm.
played by Kaylee Spaney. But the trailers made it seem like Isabella Marcet would be the lead, but she wasn't, and I was very confused. But
Ah.
because when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, this is the main character." I thought this other character would be the main character. But yeah, this I lost my train of thought for a second there. Like I said, I ignored every trailer after the first. So maybe some of those made it more clear. Um, so this movie had a budget of $80 million and made over 200 million in the box office. And
Wow.
Ed O'Kira the first put it best. Um, he said that Alien Romulus budget was 80 million, Prey's budget was 65 million, and Godzilla minus one budget was $50 million, proving that you don't need $1 billion to make blockbusters, just talented filmmakers. First off, I forgot that Godzilla minus one budget was $15 million because the CGI in
That
that
seems
movie is so
absurdly
good.
low.
The CGI in that movie is incredible, and the CGI in Alien Romulus is really good. These movies don't look like they were made for the budget that they were. You don't need to be spending as first off, AMC will spend $1 billion just to make a bad movie real fast. They spend that
No,
much
for
money to
real.
make these movies in an unnecessary amount of time. Whereas these people spend a lot less money and take their time to make something good and actually give the CGI artists enough time to get the job done so that it looks good, throughout the entire movie. There's this one thing that
Right.
I couldn't tell if it was CGI or if it was practical because they do a lot of practical stuff in this movie. They
They
do
do.
the face some of the face huggers are like animatronics on top of RC cars, so the animatronics make the legs move, but it's actually moving on the RC. Um, and they're animatronic like fully animatronic xenomorphs, and
Mm.
a new alien that introduced that I got spoiled on slightly. People kept posting pictures of it. Granted, I saw the movie like 3 weeks after it came out, and the director
Right.
himself posted it, but I was like, stop! Why would you do this? But luckily, I immediately like clicked the three dots on Twitter and told them to like don't show me this.
Don't show me this.
And like I didn't it was be a quick glimpse and I would immediately make it go away, so I didn't get fully spoiled.
Right.
And it was easily the scariest alien in the movie. It looks so creepy.
Was it like super tall?
Yes,
Like,
and it is played
yeah,
by
that was a real guy.
yeah, it's
That was a
yeah.
guy
I know
that
that's what I was about to say. That's what I was getting to. Is that
crazy.
most of it is practical, and that person was a guy in a suit. It was this dude who's 6'7". He's a like some German or like some European basketball player. And yeah, it was great, and it was very scary. That was the scariest part
But
of
you
the
know
movie.
what?
Because Xenomorphs, seen them 1,000 times. The further you get into the franchise, they become fodder. They just get murdered all the time. But like this
Right.
thing was creepy as hell.
Yeah, and it's like I do appreciate that we're moving back towards like, practical effects being a thing in cinema, especially because like the first Alien movie, which I am actually quite fond of, despite being terrified by horror movies. I like the first Alien. It's the only one I've seen. I wanted to go see Romulus. I
You
was
should,
too scared,
you should watch the second one.
but
Second one's a lot more action oriented.
I should probably yeah. But like the because of Romulus releasing, there's been like a lot more like pictures of the first alien like
Yeah.
suits circulating around, and I think about the one person in his xenomorph costume taking a smoke break on the back of the lot.
Yeah.
And it's like I wish we could get back to that because
There's a really funny
it's
picture
good.
of the dude in Romulus in the suit, just like with his hip like punked out, like just leaning against something,
Yeah.
just chilling, and it's so funny. But yeah, this movie was great. And yeah, these movies look. This movie looks 10 times better than any $1 billion movie that's been coming out lately with a fraction of the budget.
Sure.
And as a result, they make their money back tenfold because they aren't spending as much money to make it.
Right.
And yeah, this movie was real. It was real good. Like I do hate like I hate like I'm a big proponent of like I hate how much people shit on CGI because it's not CGI's fault. CGI is good.
Right.
They just are never given enough time to make it look good. That's not to say that we shouldn't also do practical stuff, but they use CGI as a crutch, and then they don't even use it when they do use it as a crutch. They don't even use it properly. They don't even give people the time necessary to make it work. The people who use CGI just don't know how to use it right, and they use it in places where they don't need to use CGI, and it would be better off if they did it practically.
Right. And it's like it's not CGI is not the enemy. It's and I wish people would see.
Yeah, people keep trying to make it seem like CGI is the enemy when it's really just people misusing it and using it where it isn't necessary.
Right.
But yeah, Aliens Romulus is great. You should watch it. It's a good movie.
I might. If it comes to streaming, I might. Because I know in a theater, like, I would have a heart attack.
Yeah,
that's just...
It'll be on...
That'll be...
It'll be on Disney Plus eventually.
Yeah, so that's probably how I'll watch it. In a controlled, my home environment.